Hey there YouTube, just want to make a quick video on an item I picked up today from REI, and this was actually on sale for $47. The retail was $69.99, and with a $20 off coupon I was able to get this for 30 bucks. So this is the Capilene Midweight. This is the replacement to the Capilene 2, and this is the half zip version. So the change is that, similar to that on the thermal or Capilene 4, it's got that. I'll capture that on like more of a tabletop review on a different section of this video. But anyway, this is supposed to be their most versatile mid layer out of that group. It has the widest temperature range, and the vent certainly allows for more of that. Goes all the way down to your sternum. Below your sternum, just right above your abdomen. This is a size large, and it weighed in at 8.2 ounces. And I'll have some specs for you a little later. It's got a pretty nice smooth face fabric. It's got a gridded pattern on the inside. And I'm going to discuss my thoughts on it, my first impressions. I just wore this outside. It's 45 degrees. The face fabric, what I like about it versus the thermal weight so far is that it is more wind resistant than the Patagonia Thermal Wt, which is the same as the Capilene 4. And I do wish that they did try this hopefully by next year or later on this year. 2017, it's already December 2016. So hopefully in 2017 they would do a hooded version of this, and that would be really nice. It's got the thumb loops just like in the Capilene 4 and the Thermal Wt. I believe the long sleeve version of the Capilene Lightweight is also designed with thumb loops. So this is the blue. It's two different colors, navy blue obviously on the arms, and I believe this is like their Andes blue. Don't quote me on that. Check out rei.com. These are on sale right now for $47. And I'll do a little quick tabletop for you guys, and have the lightweight and the daily next to it, as well as the Thermal Wt or Capilene 4.
Alright, so we have to the left in gray the Capilene Lightweight, in the middle the Capilene Midweight, and the Capilene 4 hoodie standing in for the Capilene Thermal Wt. So I am going to get closer to the garments and show you the differences in the material. So I've done a review of the lightweight, and I have to say I'm very impressed with this garment so far. Out of the newer versions of the Capilene, the lightweight is the one that was actually least talked about, and the midweight seemed to have been the most popular when these were introduced. And as you can see, they all have this sort of grid type patterning, but obviously with the Thermal Wt, or the 4 in this case, but they have a very similar material. I'm not even sure if there were any changes on this, but you guys could go ahead. For those who know more about that, just post that in the comments if you know any changes or differences between the Thermal Wt and the Capilene 4. This is the Capilene 4, and it's very warm for its weight. This is the hooded version, and I've tried on even just a regular crew neck. The crew neck is 5 ounces in weight for those weight counters there, the ultralight guys. And in that sense, the thing that I see that I'm critical of is that this thing is 8.2 ounces without a hood, and the Thermal Wt is 9 ounces in the Capilene hoodie version, which has still has the chest pocket right there. From what I gather online, the new version without the pocket is about an ounce lighter. So my knock on the midweight is, even though they say it's the most versatile, it doesn't really provide as much warmth in terms of warmth to weight ratio. I would have liked to have seen something lighter. For instance, with regards to the Capilene Lightweight, that shirt in medium is less than 3 ounces. I believe 2.8 ounces was what I measured it at. And the standard synthetic shirt usually weighs in about 5 ounces, I believe. So when you compare this garment, the Capilene Midweight, to those in its class, I would say that that would be the Under Armour Base 2.0, and what else? If you put in the budget, alternatives like the Uniqlo 1.5, the Uniqlo Extra Warm is actually warmer than this garment, but so far Uniqlo has not started doing the little half zips or hoodies, and I really do strongly suggest that they start venturing into more of a running apparel with their Heattech, which they haven't done so yet. But for this garment, since I've just bought it, I can't talk about dry time and all these other things. The thing that I really just see is as $69 for the half zip. It's $99 on the thermal weights. The weight of it, though, that's sort of my issue with this, is that if I was as a backpacker, for the temperatures that this would be good for, 8 ounces, I'd rather just carry something else at that point. Perhaps I'd rather just carry a lightweight long sleeve at that point, which is probably around 5 ounces. Or you could carry like a Columbia Omniheat. I'm not going to bring that in. I have it nearby, but that thing's 6 ounces. If you want to have something warmer and you don't want to spend the thermal weight price tag, the Under Armour Base 2.0 in the half zip version is about 55, I think, or $60. So it's a few dollars cheaper than this. It's warmer, it's even lighter. The Under Armour 2.0 crew neck is 6.5 ounces in a size large, and the zip is just about an ounce more, so about 7.5 ounces, which comes in an ounce lighter than this, but is twice as warm, almost, if not around as warm as the thermal weight. I have an issue with the fact that the Capilene Midweight actually weighs more, the fabric weighs more than that of the fabric of the Capilene Thermal Wt. It's a little bit misleading. People who have reviewed this, I've read some reviews online, and they like the fact that this garment is, again, as they describe it, the most versatile. I do not think it's the most versatile out of the three. That's my personal preference. I believe that I'm going to roll these in. These are Capilene as well. This was the previous Capilene 1. And this is the, Capilene Daily, which is not actually exactly the same. Their reps would say that it's the change, but it's much thinner than the Capilene one. Same UPF 50. I forgot to check on that. I think this is UPF 35. The lightweight has a UPF of 35, so I may be wrong on that, but I believe that this has a UPF as well. The midweight does. The Capilene 1 and the Capilene Daily have a UPF of 50. and that's pretty fantastic. But I think in terms of versatility, this is not as versatile. Matter of fact, I believe this actually becomes more narrow in terms of its application, um, because I would rather, it's not like I'm going to wear this without a shirt. If I was backpacking, this would be, my base layer in the winter time or whatnot. But I don't think that I would choose this. I would, if this was right next to skin, I would prefer a crew neck version of it, or at least to have one on me because of the temperature changes. I wouldn't be wearing this in the summertime. If I had to carry a long sleeve in the in terms of the shoulder seasons, I would probably rather carry the in terms of comfort and durability, probably something like the Capilene Lightweight. And if I wanted to be more on the budget side, I wouldn't even care. I'd probably just carry like one of those Uniqlo long sleeve ones for, $9.99. They weigh around 6 ounces. So at 8.2 ounces, this weighs as much as a down coat. If you were putting, your gear list, I think that the Under Armour Base 2.0 half zip is probably more versatile than this. That's my preference. I mean, that's my perception on that. I've been looking at Outdoor Gear Lab recently, and I'm a little critical of the way they review things. I don't like comparing the half zip or the hooded versions with the weight of a crew neck. Of course, the crew neck's going to be lighter. It doesn't have the zipper. I think it'll be a little bit warmer because it goes up to your neck and protects your neck. The hoodies are going to be lighter, the hoodies are going to be warmer as well. I think that when we look at garments, you should start to look at the cut, as well. And when you compare, for instance, the lightweight in long sleeve is definitely going to be the lightest garment out of all of these, because this is a heavier weight fabric, even if we were going to have them right next to each other. I hope you understand what I'm saying. But this actually scored pretty low on that review. They do say that it's, for those who aren't looking for so much warmth, that this had that greater range of temperature. I think that it's, if I didn't pick this up for $30, I wouldn't even bother with this fabric, knowing what it is. It's definitely not something I highly recommend at $69. In that case, I would rather just say put like another $30 or so and pick up one of the I'm not sure, like I don't like comparing as well. I do not like comparing synthetics to merino directly. For instance, they like to put this up against the Oasis and the Rab, and then the REI and the Smart Wool Merinos, and I just picked one of those up for my wife, the NTS 250, and they like to just put them side by side, and I'm not a big fan of that. This is not a merino wool product, and not everybody. I wear merino for different reasons. I don't exactly substitute merino for synthetic. It's like apples and oranges. Some people might say they're the same. I tend not to wear merino for the same purpose as a synthetic shirt. The synthetic shirt to me is something where I'm expecting, it to get soaked, and it's going to have a faster dry time, which a lot of people now have said that synthetics don't necessarily have the fastest dry time in comparison to merino. So for those of you guys looking into that, it seems that there's been some changes with the way fabrics have worked out. in terms of fast dry times and all these other things, that Merinos in their review have sort of beat out the synthetics. Now, I don't also like the fact that a lot of companies are sort of not reviewing other garments. The lightweight sort of just is not mentioned in a lot of backpacking reviews. It's more of a forum thing. And I guess this thing doesn't really provide that much warmth, but neither does this. Again, I mentioned earlier that the face fabric, or the face of the fabric, is this smoother jersey type thing. And if you put that side by side, there's more space in between the grids. You see that? And that's where the wind usually comes through. So this jacket, you really, this fabric, you really need some sort of wind jacket. But I have to say, if I was going to spend around $70, this is definitely not high on my recommendation list for the price point. And I had a couple of comments from, on the comment section, a couple of viewers have said that I focus so much on the price point, but this is $70 retail. I think that the Under Armour is a better deal at around $54, and definitely I have a harder time looking at these brands without having to look at the alternative. Matter of fact, I'll pause this video and I'll bring in a couple of alternatives from Uniqlo. I'm already ranting, but bear with me. Alright, and we're back with those two garments that I was talking about. One other note that I have to talk about actually is when you unzip or lower this, the collar kind of crinkles. Not the most comfortable thing. It's not a deal breaker, but I don't think that this is the most comfortable half zip I've worn, or I wear a lot of half zips, and this is definitely one of the worst collars that I've had to deal with. It's not a bad garment. I'm just critiquing or criticizing the fact that it is a $70 garment. I just don't think it's the best way to utilize $70. This is the Heattech. It's not a base layer by any means, but for the for the colder months, for summer nights, this can be used as a base layer in my opinion, but that's just me. This is made by Heattech. This is a Heattech fleece. Apologize. It's a little early. Heattech fleece from Uniqlo. So you can see it's $24.90. It's about $25. This weighed in at 8.3 ounces. The Patagonia Midweight weighs in at 8.2. And to the right, for $35, this is not a half zip. I'm not even sure if Columbia makes a half zip version of this, but this is the Omniheat. This is $6. It's just a very nice compressible piece. The pack size of these garments too are, the Omniheat can pack down to that size, and I find that the midweight is just a little bulkier than even the thermal weight. So the Capilene Thermal Wt is actually will take up less space in your pack. I guess it has a lot more loft to that grid. I think that the garment is warmer than your standard long sleeve shirt, but the grid pattern, though it looks nice, is much closer to that in the lightweight than that of the thermal weight. I don't think it traps that much air in between these spaces. You know, it looks great, but for now, my verdict, I'm gonna wear this. Obviously, Patagonia has the best warranty out of all the garments. It's a lifetime warranty, so I'm gonna test this out and see how that works out, and do like a short update on the video later on. But my opinion, for the retail, $69, I think there's a lot of better options at the moment. For $20 to $30 more, you can get those merino wool ones. If that's your thing, you could also just get the thermal weight. You can also get the North Face half zips. You know, there's the North Face warm for $60, so it's $10 less than this, and supposed to be a better performer than this. Anyway, this thing's getting a little long. Hopefully it comes together well, and but for $47 or $30, definitely recommend it in terms of value right now at REI. For $47, yes, I definitely pick it up, but it's not the most versatile out of their group. I would actually say that the Capilene Lightweight would probably be the most versatile one out of the new versions. The Daily, it's a great shirt. Not a big fan of the fact that it doesn't have the off-centered, you know, the stitching. The stitching on the Daily is right on top of your shoulder, so if you had a pack on, it's not as comfortable. The Lightweight, the Midweight, and the Thermal weights do have that off-centered stitching. Alright, thank you very much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Leave some comments below. Happy holidays to all. Thank you.